Welcome! In this explainer, we're going to break down Skill S9 for your Project Controls Apprenticeship, and we're going to do it by following an apprentice, Jody, on her journey from being totally confused to completely confident. Let's get into it. So, we start out at Iva's stores, and here's Jody, and she's got a question that I bet sounds pretty familiar to a lot of you. She's looking at Skill S9, sees the words health and safety, and thinks, wait a minute, that's not my job. She's feeling completely overwhelmed, and honestly, it's a super common feeling, but we're about to fix that.
And you can see why she's confused, right? Just look at the official wording. It's a bit of a mouthful. Ensure project control work is undertaken in accordance with HSE regulations. It sounds super dense, really intimidating, especially when you start talking about CDM and how all of that hits your schedules and your costs. So yeah, no wonder Jody's feeling lost. But stick with me, we're going to unpack all of this.
Okay, so just as she's about to drown in all that jargon, her mentor, Adam, steps in, and he gives her this game-changing piece of advice. He says, Jody, stop thinking like you're the on-site safety manager. From now on, you're a safety architect. And that one little shift in thinking, it changes everything. So what does that even mean, safety architect? Well, let's break it down, because this is the core idea. You're not the person on site with a hard hat writing risk assessments. That's not you, no. You are the person who designs the blueprint for safety, right from the very start. You're the one planning for it, getting the right resources for it, and actually putting a cost against it.
And that's the absolute crucial point here. Skill S9 isn't about you being the safety police. It's about leadership. It's about you, as the project controller, building safety right into the DNA of the project plan. You have to make sure it's planned, it's resourced, and it's costed. It can't just be an afterthought.
All right, so theory is one thing, but now it's go time. Jody's line manager, Rital, sees this new spark and gives her the perfect project to test out her new safety architect mindset. She's now in charge of the entire control plan for a brand new store floor refit.
Now luckily, she's not just being thrown in the deep end. Her mentor, Adam, gives her a really clear 5-step framework to follow. He calls it her safety blueprint. If she follows these 5 steps, she can build her plan methodically and make sure absolutely nothing gets missed. So let's walk through them with her.
First things first, you gotta know the rules of the game. So Jody starts by doing her homework. She dives into the CDM regulations, that's the big one for construction safety, and she also pulls up all of IBIS's internal safety policies. You can't build a safe plan if you don't know what safe actually means legally.
And this is the light bulb moment. She realizes this isn't just some boring box-ticking exercise. Every one of those rules has a direct impact on her world, the world of project controls. They're going to add time to her schedule, they're going to need specific people, and yep, they're going to cost money.
So with that new inset, she gets to work on the schedule. And she's not just blocking out time for, ripping up the floor and putting a new one down. No, she's adding specific tasks like mandatory safety inductions for everyone. And she builds in what are called hold points. Basically, mandatory pauses in the work so that critical safety checks can happen.
Okay, so the schedule's looking good. Now what about the money? Well, in step 4, Jody takes all those new safety tasks and puts a price tag on them. She's adding actual line items into the budget for stuff like safety training, getting the right permits, and even paying for the supervisor's time to do those inspections. Because let's be real, safety's never free.
And finally, the last step. This is where she puts on her full architect hat. With the schedule and the budget locked in, she reviews the whole thing with a sharp, critical eye. She now has the knowledge and the confidence to challenge anything that looks like someone's trying to take an unsafe shortcut. So Jody's done it. She's built her safety blueprint, she's feeling great about the plan. But then the next big question hits. It's the one every single apprentice has. Okay, this is great, but how do I actually prove I did this? What do I upload to Aptum? So she sets up a meeting with her coach, Olivia, to figure it out.
And here's the good news. Olivia tells her that the evidence is the work she's already done. She doesn't need to invent anything new. Her evidence toolkit is made up of the actual schedules with those safety tasks, the cost documents showing the safety budget, and yeah, a really good reflective statement explaining her whole safety architect thought process.
And this quote from Olivia really hits the nail on the head. Your assessor isn't looking for a perfect project. What they want to see is the story. They want to see the evidence that you proactively and intentionally planned for safety right from the very beginning. It wasn't just something you hoped would happen.
So to make it crystal clear, Olivia gives Jody a checklist of what assessors are looking for. They need to see you understand the rules. They need to see the proof in your project plans. They need to see how you integrated it into the schedule, cost, and resources. And they need to see that you used your professional judgment. Your evidence has to tick all of these boxes.
Okay, we've got the plan, we've got the evidence. Now for the final boss, the endpoint assessment, or EPA. Olivia starts prepping Jody for her professional discussion by firing some typical questions at her.
So Olivia hits her with a classic EPA question. Now notice how specific this is. It links a specific regulation, CDM, to a specific document, the schedule, for a specific project. They're testing your real-world application here, not just if you can remember a definition.
And because Jody actually did the work, she's totally ready for this. She doesn't give some vague answer, she can give concrete examples. She can talk about the inductions she put in the schedule, the specific hold points she added, and how she made sure the timings were realistic for people to work safely.
Olivia follows up with another one, this time hitting the money side of things. See the pattern? It's always about connecting those regulations directly to your core project controls.
And boom, she nails it again. This is what mastery looks like. Jody can clearly explain how she took those safety rules and turned them into numbers on a spreadsheet. She can point to the exact line items for training, for PPE, for inspections, proving that safety was properly budgeted for and built right into the project's baseline.
So, if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. As a project controller, you are a safety architect. That plan you build, the schedule, the budget, the resource list, that is the project's very first and most important piece of safety equipment. It's the tool that makes sure your project gets done not just on time and on budget, but safely and successfully.